There were about 3 pages that I studied real hard on, but I'm only going to review 429 because of constraints of time. 429, let me back up one. The federal government, the one that we all know and love, the one that runs the trains into each other, the ones that deliver the mail eventually, and the ones that gave us cash for clunkers, has had an epiphany recently. They have found out and they have concluded that when people get old, they die. Now, I don't know what they have spent for this. I'm guessing about $787 billion. That seems to be a real popular number. But if this new Obamacare program comes to fruition, when you reach 65 and every 5 years thereafter, you're going to have a counseling session with some federal airhead. And they're going to ask you if you have a will. They're going to ask you if you want to be resuscitated if you have a heart attack. They're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions that are none of your business. Part of this process is called end-of-life counseling, and part of the end-of-life counseling can be an end-of-life order. Let me repeat that. Part of this end-of-life counseling on line 429 of H.R. 3200 deals with an end-of-life order. What does that mean? End of life. Another word for that is death. Order. What's another word for that? A sentence. Now, you folks review with me a little bit. As I recall, Stalin in the 1920s issued about 20 million end-of-life orders for his fellow Russians. Pol Pot did it during the Vietnam War. He issued about 2 million end-of-life orders. It's being done in Africa today. Mugabe is doing it every day. Adolf Hitler issued 6 million end-of-life orders. He called his program the Final Solution. I kind of wonder what we're going to call ours. I can't believe that we're here in this gathering tonight talking about ending people's lives. Not in my country. Nobody has the right to do that. If for no other reason, H.R. 3200 has to be stopped for that. Because I don't know of anybody in this country, particularly in this administration, that's qualified to play God, unless maybe it's Joe Biden. So, if you agree with me, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do just a couple things. I don't want you to believe anything I've told you tonight, because with a section of about 3 people, you don't know me from Adam. But what I do want you to do is to go home and sit down in front of your computer, or your kid's computer, or your grandkid's computer, and pick up a search engine and type HR 3200 and read it for yourself. Educate yourself. Don't take my word. And if you find that all this stuff is repugnant as I do, you need to take it to the next step. You need to notify your congressman. You need to let Congressman Salazar, Senator Bennett, and Senator Udall know that you don't appreciate this and you don't want anything to do with it. How do you do that? How do you notify these people? You can call them. You can write them. You can email them. Or you can go to their office and put the fear of God in them. And if you're fortunate enough to be able to come to one of their so-called town hall meetings, you need to... Yeah, good question. You need to... If you get a chance, you need to ask them 3 questions. 3 basic, simple yes or no questions. Senator, Congressman, did you read the damn bill? Number 1. Senator or Congressman, is this bill going to cover your family like it's going to cover mine? Yeah. And the third one is, if you approve of line 429, we're going to vote you out because you got no business being in Congress. If you don't approve, you have to vote against this bill. There is no either or option. It is yes or no. You are for us or you are against us. And the last thing you need to let them know is, Mr. Congressman, Mr. Senator, read my teleprompter. Get away from my health care. Thank you.